Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining in this video. So this is the second part of yesterday's video, which is titled as Conjunctions of Ketu. And as I mentioned, yesterday, the way to interpret the conjunctions of Ketu is to look at the strength of Ketu. Okay, so if Ketu is positively placed, or if Ketu is well placed in the chart, or if Ketu is having good strength in the chart, then it will amplify the qualities of the planet that it is conjunct with. It'll shower you with all the qualities of the planets that it joins in the chart. And if Ketu is weak, or if Ketu is badly placed, if the house is afflicted, then it will take away the qualities of the planets that are conjunct with it. Okay, but then let's not waste more time. And yesterday we discussed the conjunctions of Ketu with the Sun, with the Moon, and with Mars. And today we'll cover the remaining planets. Okay, so Mercury and Ketu, right? So if this conjunction is favorable, it can give wisdom, conventional as well as unconventional, strong abilities as an astrologer, as well as good intuition. Okay, and these people are very much able to think outside the box. Okay, because they are able to process information very swiftly. Okay, and in the past life, perhaps intellectual knowledge was not really used in the right way. So in this life, the lesson is to use this intellectual knowledge for the benefit of other people through learning and writing. Okay, now this combination I've seen giving high intelligence to people, but then such a person may not always recognize it. Okay, and on the flip side, it gives a lot of insincerity. Okay, for example, it can produce an intellectual who is insincere, maybe a school dropout, although very much talented. Okay, so the question or the challenge of this conjunction is how to use the intellect. Okay, and as I said, if Ketu is weak, or if this conjunction is afflicted, then such a person will have lots of doubts about your knowledge, feeling as if something is missing in terms of information, and they will have a desire for perfectionism. Okay, and that desire may lead to indecision. However, these people are very strong in research, and they will make very good detectives. Okay, and they also learn a lot they will also be interested in a lot of topics, only to realize later that they don't really know anything. Okay, so if this conjunction is afflicted, then it gives a lot of doubts about your knowledge. But then these people I've seen, they are very good at arguing and debating, and they can explain everything perfectly. Okay, so as I said, it's important not to go after perfection, because it's necessary to understand that you cannot know everything. Okay, and if you have to know something, you just need to know what is good enough for a given moment, for a given situation, for a given client, etc., within your role. Okay, next is Jupiter and Ketu. Again, this is regarded as a very positive conjunction, and this brings about the accumulated energy of Jupiter from a past life. Okay, the person is very spiritual, very pious, and if this conjunction is happening in a good bhava like the Kendra or the Trikona, then you will be successful in the affairs of the house where this conjunction happens. Okay, now Jupiter will always enhance and improve Ketu. Okay, and that will create a craving for spirituality and religiosity. Okay, and I've seen this in many people having Jupiter Ketu combination. They are very eager for the spiritual growth of others. Okay, but then on the negative side, the luck of these people is not permanent. Okay, because they will be experimenting with different religions. They might distrust the religion of their birth. Okay, and they will always search for deeper answers to spiritual questions. Okay, and that can lead to a collapse of ideals for them. Okay, so this can be a beneficial thing as well as a bad thing, that they will have a lot of unexpected teachers in their life, and some teachers will just leave without any notice. Okay, now these people may run into problems with children, relationships, and knowledge, and but then it gives a strong internal system of values and religions. Okay, and one would often want to become a renunciate, become a monk, and you know they will always look for a superior knowledge system as compared to what they already know. Okay, so the karmic lesson from this connection is to learn how to see the divine in all religions, to make efforts for spiritual and material growth throughout life, but then not to become attached to the result, because then Ketu will take away everything. Okay, so if this conjunction is happening in a water sign, it will, it will give a lot of spiritual visions or aspiration to know the divine, but everything will be on the verge of insanity. Okay, so it will depend a lot on how Chandra is placed. All right, if this conjunction is happening in the earth sign, then such a person would strive for material achievements, understanding the the laws of success, the earthy laws of life very well. If this conjunction is happening in an air sign, there would be an aspiration to knowledge. And if this conjunction is happening in a fire sign, then it gives the ability of a manager. Okay, but it can also give a lot of selfishness and rigidity, dogmatism, as well as manifestation of the ego. All right. Now, Venus and Ketu, this is a very good combination to learn something called Kriya Yoga, but then Saturn has to influence this conjunction. Okay. And unfinished personal relationships of the past are brought into this incarnation. These people may suffer from a fear of rejection, as a result of which they will be very anxious and they will undergo frequent changes in relationships. Okay. Now, I've seen people having this combination, the partner is usually from another environment. And, this combination also means that such a person in the past life sought to receive many sensual pleasures. Okay. But then on the positive side, qualities of diplomacy, tactfulness, as well as various talents can be developed. And these people will make very elegant, elegant homemakers. They will make very good diplomats, and they will have a lot of interest in tantra as well as psychology. Okay. However, because of Ketu's influence on Venus, such people may find difficulty expressing feelings, and that can lead to some indifference in the pursuit of beauty as well as fashion. Okay. And on the lowest level, this conjunction can mean that there is a great love for freedom, but it simply transforms into lust as well as promiscuity in personal relationships. Okay. On the highest aspect, it can give platonic love, okay, a deep feeling for higher love, as well as devotion to a partner. All right. Now, Saturn and Ketu, okay, so this combination gives people an innate ability to see, feel, and hear whatever others cannot. Okay, and it is very favorable. It's a favorable position to have for astrologers and philosophers, researchers, and scientists. Okay, and again, this is another combination why to learn Kriya Yoga. And of course, Saturn and Ketu alone would not give you Kriya Yoga, but if Venus is joining the combination, then it is a great combination to be a Kriya Yogi. Okay. Now, on the flip side, this conjunction can give depression. It can indicate a fatalistic mentality, as well as make a person very melancholic. Okay. These people are usually isolated from material comforts, and they will feel like a constant failure. Okay. I've seen people having the Saturn Ketu combination that suffer from suicidal thoughts. Okay. And in whichever houses it happens, this combination happens, it can indicate a fatalistic attitude with regards to the matter related to those houses, as well as a great tendency for being lazy. Okay. So, however, these people are very good organizers because they are systematic, strict, and serious. Okay. And we know that Saturn and Ketu are both separative planet, but it works on different levels. For example, Saturn can separate, but Ketu will deprive you of something. Okay. So, this is, if you have this combination, then the common goal for both these planets, we have to understand that the common goal of both these planets is this true spiritual path with additional indicators. Okay. So Saturn will always act on the outside world, while Ketu will affect the inner world. And the Saturn represents the karmic problems of the past, whereas Ketu represents the knowledge and experience accumulated in the past. Okay. And Saturn is all about facing material problems boldly and solving them, while Ketu is all about moving into the spiritual realm while refusing material problems. Okay. So both these grahas are wanderers, both remove attachments. But then Ketu is about monasticism and poverty, while Saturn is about discipline and hard work. Okay. And as I said, obstacles are represented by both Saturn and Ketu. And solving the obstacles, whatever obstacles come up, is one of the lessons to learn from this conjunction. Okay. Now, this conjunction, wherever it happens, it can spoil the living indicators of the house. Okay. For example, if this combination is happening in a dusthana, for example, in the 6th, 8th, or 12th, then it can give severe painful illnesses that last over a lot of, over a long period. Okay. And whenever whenever Saturn is in conjunction with Ketu, or whenever Ketu is related to Saturn in any way, you can predict that even if the native is born in a family of a millionaire, there would be a constant, struggle for the basic necessities of life, like food and, clothing. And such a person will decide on profession only after 28 years, and only in his 30s life will be arranged. Okay. And these people usually have to work very hard, and despite any circumstances, there would be many obstacles in the in the path whichever they are trying to follow. Okay. So these were the combinations of Ketu, the conjunctions of Ketu, and how Ketu behaves when it is conjunct with different planets. Okay. So do let me know if you agree with the analysis. And as always, kindly subscribe to the channel, share the content with your friends and family if you find it useful. And as always, I'll see you soon in yet another video. Namaste. Om Gurave Namaha.